Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, fellow YouTubers of the world, and welcome to another edition of Life Quotes, starring your host, Life Quotes. Now, I've seen a video on how to explain. Now, this is kind of a challenge. How do you explain life in 59 seconds or less? Well, life is, as it was put, life is life. Life is what it is. It's not a being. It's not, life is what you make of it and what you put into it. And how to explain about life in 59 seconds or less, that's impossible. Because there's so many things that are going on in life all at once. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you comb your hair, you get something to eat and blah blah blah. But there's so many things going on with life at one time. It's hard to define what life really is, because life is his or her own individual opinion about it. Because we're all doing different things in life. We're all going in different directions in life. Some of us are going to the left, some of us are going to the right, and some of us are, staying straight on the middle. It's hard to define what life is really about in such a short period of time, when life is a multitude of things going on. I mean, think about it. You wake up in the morning. What happens in the morning? Well, for one thing, the day, it changes from day to night, and then later on during the night, during the day, it goes from day to night, night to day. You know what I mean? And life is a constant happening. It's a constant change. It's in constant it's in constant motion. And life can't really be explained in 59 seconds or less, because there's so much happening in it. There's so much activity going on. You wake up in the morning, the birds chirp, the air moves around, lots of activity happening. So to really define what life is, I would say that's up to actually the individual that's living in it. Wouldn't you think? I mean, with me, my life is, kind of struggling. It's kind of challenging. But at the same time, isn't that what life normally is? Life normally is challenging. Life normally is testing your limits. You know, it's what life does. It's what life is about. Because if life was not challenging, then why would we be able to, you know, why would we want to just do anything? Think about it. If we live in a life where everything is handed to us, where everything is given to us, then why bother trying to improve it? Why bother trying to do anything? When all you have to do is just say, hey, I want this, and you get it. That doesn't seem fun, does it? That doesn't seem challenging, does it? That doesn't seem interesting, does it? I mean, think about it. If you live in a ready-made life, then what's the point of even trying hard to get anything and appreciating everything, See, I was brought up to basically, if you want something, you have to work hard to obtain it. You have to work hard to get it. That's the way I was brought up. But a lot of other people were brought up differently. But to explain what life really is in such a short period of time, well, that's impossible. Because once again, there are so many things happening, so many changes, so many advancements going on that you really can't really focus your energies on one specific part in life when there's a whole bunch of different parts in life happening all at once. I mean, think about it. How many people in this world per day get up every morning and see the sunrise, and enjoy it? How many people get up, go to bed, and just before they go to bed, they look outside and see the sunset? How many people do that? Very few. Because people, see, a lot of the times people get consumed into whatever their life, whatever's going through their life, whatever energies are going through, whatever, they get consumed in it. And what that means is that they get so focused on, like, if their life is going negative, they get so focused on the negative that they neglect to see the positive things that are happening in their lives. The old saying goes, when you don't realize how good you have it until it's gone. This is the same thing. A lot of people take advantage of their life and say, well, my life is how it is, and there's nothing I could do to change it. Well, then you're just lying to yourself. You could change your life anytime you want to, or you could not change your life anytime you want to. It's all up to basically individual choice, individual preference. I can't tell you guys what to do, and you can't tell me what to do. No, not one grown adult can tell another grown adult what to do. But we could sit here and give each other advice and express our opinion on how we feel about this or how we feel about that, you know. But like I said, back to what I was saying, to explain how life is in 59 seconds or less, that's impossible. But then again, there's so much happening within that 59 seconds that I wouldn't even know where to start. Like, well, I got up this morning. Well, you never know. 3 seconds later, after I got up, maybe someone else got up too. Or 3 seconds earlier, someone's already been up, you know? So, to explain how life is in 59 seconds or less, to me, that wouldn't even do life any justice at all. Because life is a precious gift. Life is a miracle within itself. Life is a blessing. Because there are so many things happening at one given time that nobody could really pinpoint as to what's really going on in it, unless they're dealing with their unless they're dealing with their own lives and their own personal things. Then that's a completely entirely different story. But to explain how life is in general in 59 seconds or less, that's impossible. Because I could only explain what's happening in my life, what's going on in my life, the things that are happening in my life. I can't explain the things that are happening in someone else's life because I'm not living their life. I'm living my life. I'm doing my thing. And I don't mean to sound disingenuous or, you know, self-absorbed, but it's the truth. One individual can only speak on that one individual. They can't speak on another because they don't know them. They don't understand who they are and what they're really going through. See, this is the thing about people, a lot of people on YouTube. They assume a lot of things. They think, oh, well, this person's going through that, this person's going through that, this person's doing this person's doing that. You don't really know that. You don't really know this person. You could only assume that they're doing this and they're doing that, when in actual reality, you have no clue. Because you're not living their life, they're living their life. You're not experiencing what they're experiencing, they are. So to judge somebody's lifestyle, you might want to just judge yourself first. But like I said, to get back to what we were saying, I could never explain how life is in 59 seconds or less, because life is a happening. Life is a constant going on 24/7. And life just, life is not going to stop with me, and it's not going to stop with you. It's going to continue on, whether we're here or not. It's still going to play on. Life is still going to continue to do what it does, which is just, supporting life, making good things happen, and everything like that. But actually, I can't say life makes good things happen. Well, actually, it does. Life. Well, let me put it to you this simply put. Okay, and I know I'm kind of rambling about this, but life is this. Life is not a good thing, and it's not a bad thing. Life is exactly what you decide to put into it. Life is exactly how you bring it about. Life is exactly what you do with it. And you could, live life correctly or you can live life foolishly. It's up to you. It's your choice. You know, it's it's your preference. Because we're all individuals. We're all individuals in this life, and we get to decide on what we want to do with it. Whether good, bad, or indifferent, still, that's our lives. That's what we chose to do with it. And however good or shitty life is for you, well, it's basically your choice. And I know a lot of people out there are born with a lot of debilitating diseases and all that. And you're like, well, how do you explain them? Well, I do admit they didn't have a choice when they got into that situation. They didn't have no choice. But a lot of them, despite their illness, despite how they feel, despite what they have to go through every single day, they still appreciate their life, no matter how much or little they have of it. They're grateful for it. They're appreciative of it. They're blessed as a result of it. I've seen children with with really bad cancer. And you know what? They're happier than I don't know what. Because they're like, you know what? I may not have much of a life. I may not have much life here. But I thank God every day for the life I do have. However little or however much it is, praise God for it. So, like I said, it goes back to what I was saying. To explain how, what life is about in 59 seconds or more, well, it's not up to me to explain how life is. Because I can only tell you how life is from my point of view. Because that's what life is. It just depends on the point of view of the individual. And everybody goes through different stories, different things, different ways, yada, yada, yada. We all go through different cycles, different things in life. And so to explain about life in 59 seconds or less, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't do life justice. Because there are so many things happening in so many ways, in so many different parts, it's just difficult to actually pinpoint one section of life when everything's happening all at once. Everything. From the stars changing to people changing, the world changing, you know. Even air quality changes. You know, it's just there's a constant happening of life revolving around us all. Like an endless energy that never stops, that never quits, never shuts down. It just keeps going. You know, when one path is cut off, big deal, it looks for another one. When another path is cut off, looks for another, and another, and another, and another. You know, it doesn't really matter. Because the meaning of life is up to the individual person or persons. You know, I can only tell you about life from my point of view, from based off of my, you know, my life experiences. I can't tell you how your life is because I'm not living it, you are. Just like you can't tell me how my life is because you're not living it, I am. So to define what life truly is in 59 seconds or less, I'm sorry that can't do it because you would just be filling volumes and volumes and volumes and volumes and volumes and volumes of just books about life, books about experiences, everything. Because it's all happening at once. It's all going on at once. Anyway, I don't mean to sound to tend to ramble. So you guys take care. Much love, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace, and as usual, thank you for watching.